Okay.
Packed house.
Oh, yeah.
All right, thanks, Justin. We are pleased to welcome. Oh, are we unmuted? Pleased to welcome world number 3 Justin Thomas to the 2020 U.S. Open interview area. Justin is making his 6th appearance in the championship and was recently named Player of the Year by the PGA of America. Justin, just some initial reaction to the course here at Winged Foot.
It's incredible. I absolutely love it. It's probably one of my favorites I've ever played, to be honest. It's hard. So it's a different kind of fun, but it is fun, and it's all right in front of you. It's nothing tricky, nothing crazy. It's just you need to play well and have control of your golf ball, otherwise you're going to get pretty exposed.
Question here from WebEx. Will you attempt to drive the green on number 6 this week?
It depends on the wind. I mean, yesterday when I played it, there was no chance of getting there. It was a pretty stiff north wind like it was today. So I had a 4-iron and a pitching wedge. So I think the closest I could get was 20 yards yesterday. So I mean, I won't be going unless I feel like I can confidently, easily hit it on the green. So it just depends on the wind.
Right here.
Might be the only person in the world who's called this place fun. I'm curious why you use that word.
Like I said, it's a different kind of fun. It's not a. Trying to think of where we played recently. It's not a 20-25 under kind of fun. It's U.S. Open. I mean, it's tough. You know it's going to be tough, and you know par is a really, really good score. But maybe it's just because it's Tuesday I'm saying that. I might not think the same at the end of the week, but it is. It's going to be such a grind. It's going to be really, really difficult. But, it's to me, it's fun to see, some of those tough pars you can make, some of those really good 4, 5, 6 irons you can hit in the middle of the greens and really just who can manage everything the best.
I was going to say, what's the line between being really, really difficult and being unfair? Like, when does it cross over?
It's all golf course setup. I mean, we've never played a course that's gotten away from us because it's too hard of a course tee to green. It's because it's been poorly set up. That's just the fact of the matter. I mean, this place it's right now. You go play, you put the pins where they should be. The greens are very soft. The fairways aren't that firm. It's beautiful weather. Like, yeah, there's going to be a lot of high scores, but there'll be some good scores. There'll be some under par scores, but if they got firm, they got fast, they got windy, they put pins where they shouldn't be, then yeah, it'd be stupid. So it really just all depends on how the golf course is set up.
Question.
Sorry.
Yeah, from DeMeglio here on the WebEx. Thoughts on Jimmy being back on the bag?
Yeah, it's great to have him back. It seems like it was so long ago, and it seems like it was so short time ago that he was caddying last. So he's been ready to go for a little bit, but I just think getting a couple extra weeks rest and to get ready to go for this week was good for him.
And another one here. Who wins? Someone who hits the most fairways or someone who makes the most 8-foot putts?
That is a good question. Hopefully I do either one of those, and I'll let you know. But, I'm going to go most fairways because 8 feet is a pretty specific number. So I'm going to go most fairways.
Back to Ryan.
What was the benefit of playing here a couple weeks ago, do you think? I mean, how different has it gotten?
It was just big for me because I came here at least seeing it. I felt like going to Harding Park. I'd never seen the golf course. I didn't know it very well. It's not like no offense, but it wasn't like Augusta where I watch it every year, the tournaments that had been there and knew it before I even got there. So I, to be honest, was pretty tired come Wednesday. Obviously, the week before winning didn't help that, but just trying to get to know a golf course for the first time when it's a major is difficult. And I felt like if I had the opportunity to get here, I needed to do so after how I felt in San Fran. And I'm very glad I did. Just little things, like I was very, very lucky the 2 days that I played. I had 2 different winds. So some of the holes that are maybe blind, I know that, when it's downwind, 14's a 3-wood. When it's in the wind, it's a driver. It's just little things like that to where when I'm coming out here, I'm not stepping on every tee like, all right, what are we doing here? It's more, let's just play the golf course. Let's hit a bunch of chips and putts and just get more comfortable as opposed to learning it.
Another one here. The U.S. Open has a reputation of being a demanding test. How do you embrace that type of challenge?
Yeah, you have to embrace it. Otherwise, it's gonna eat you alive. I mean, you're gonna, especially a place like this, you're gonna make a lot of bogeys. You're gonna be put in some uncomfortable places, and you're as a person are gonna feel uncomfortable. And it's really just how can you manage that. And I'm not going into this week scared of Winged Foot. It is probably the hardest golf course I've ever played. I think. I mean, Oakmont is very tough, but I think that can get. It's just more the speed of the greens, of anything. But tee to green, the rough, the greens, everything factored in. I think this is the hardest course I've played. But that being said, I'm not going into it scared. I can't play tentative. I can't, only try to make pars. If I have a scoring club, I need to try to make a birdie. But then if I get in trouble, I just need to get out. So I think the most important thing is to just take each hole for what it is and not, make this place any bigger than it is, because it's already big.
What's the toughest lie you've dealt with this week already, and how was it?
Toughest lie?
Mm-hmm.
I assume meaning the rough. I mean, I don't really know how to describe awful, but awful is how I would describe it, and it didn't go very far.
You've played a lot with Tiger since 2018, but even like disproportionately so in the majors. Is it easier, better, or worse to be playing with him in a major when there's not fans?
When there's not fans, it's definitely easier because they're definitely not out there to watch me. They're out there to watch one person, and deservingly so. If I was a spectator, I'd want to watch him rather than me anyway. But it's easier just because you don't have all the commotion. I mean, it's little things like when he finishes out first, if he makes a putt or chips it close, or I, maybe have to finish and he finishes first. Everyone's gone. There's a lot of stuff going on, and yeah, you would hope that we or I am focused enough and have a good enough concentration to block that out, but it wears on you eventually. It's just a lot of backing off and kind of waiting for everyone to settle down and realize there's a little bit more people on the golf course. But it's just different. I mean, I know that's the fewest amount of people he's played in front of probably since he was about 4, so it's probably weirder for him than it is for me.
Why do you think your scoring average is so good with him? I mean, you look at the players that he's played against over the past decade, you're right up there with anybody in terms of how well you played.
I mean, I'm comfortable around him. I mean, he's a really good friend of mine, and I think he feels the same way, where he's comfortable playing with me. I just was very, very lucky to get the nerve side out of it with him. I grew up idolizing the guy, and I still look at him as a role model in a lot of things that he does, especially with his golf game. And I think I spent enough time around him early before we started competing against each other to where I kind of got the idol out of me, if that makes sense. To where when we go out and play, it's business. It's not like I need to hit this shot good to impress Tiger Woods. I want to beat Tiger Woods.
When did the nerves go away?
I don't know. I don't specifically remember a certain time, but it's just it comes with anything. It's the same thing. The first couple times you're in contention at a tournament, not that you're not nervous anymore, but you're more comfortable. It's good nerves. It's butterflies as opposed to shaking.
After playing the PGA Championship, did it still feel like a major without the fans, and
No.
have you gotten used to it?
It didn't feel anything remotely close to a major. It is a shame because Harding and here, two just terrific major championship venues, and especially here in New York with the very passionate fans that they have here, to not be able to experience that takes away a lot of a championship, let alone a U.S. Open, and especially come down the last 9 and on Sunday, it's gonna, I think, have a big impact. But at least I know I miss them, and hopefully, or wish they could have been out here. But yeah, it's night and day different.
TV probably doesn't do the slopes justice here in terms of the greens. The people at home, how would you describe putting some of these?
In the last, the 4 times I've played, I've never experienced so many times where you could use a backstop on a putt, which is it's an odd thing to say and probably picture hearing me say it, but I've hit a lot of lag putts the last 2 days, and more often than not, I'm able to use a slope past the hole to get to where a pin is going to be, which is very bizarre. But it is hard to tell on TV. But yeah, the viewers at home are going to see some pretty bizarre stuff, and probably a lot of putts and chips that make us look pretty bad. And if you're into that stuff, then you're going to like this week.
All right, thanks, Justin. Good luck this week.
Thanks.